A UN report says species extinction rates are accelerating and goes on to say nature is declining globally at rates unprecedented in human history with grave impacts on people around the world likely. How does eating animal products contribute to species extinction?
Species extinction is a terrifying reality. We are losing biodiversity. We are in the midst of what many researchers are calling the sixth great mass extinction. But this time it's not being caused by an asteroid or some force beyond our control. It's literally being caused by us as a species and what we're doing. We are destroying tropical rainforests, which are like the lungs of the planet, and which are hotbeds of biological diversity. We're also destroying microorganisms that we can't even see in our soil as we poison it with pesticides, as it washes away, as we monocrop. We're losing biological diversity. So it's underneath us, it's all around us, it's in the air we breathe. Our microbiomes are being depleted. The amount of microbial diversity in our bodies is going down. All of this is intimately connected. And all over the world, we are seeing that the amount of resources it takes to produce livestock and livestock feed are fueling this. We're chopping down rainforests so we can create grazing land for cattle, so we can create land on which to grow plantations, to grow what? Corn and soy to feed what? Cattle. And yes, there are other factors too, like oil exploration and desertification, which is caused by climate change, droughts and floods. But all of these are also connected because guess what? It takes a lot of oil to produce animal agriculture. It all has to be refrigerated, frozen, trucked all around. There's a lot of oil directly involved in it. And it turns out, of course, that livestock is such a driver of climate change that too is helping to fuel the destruction of the natural world.
You mentioned the issues with fish farming. Eating fish seems so natural. Are there any other things wrong with eating fish that we should know about?
There are a lot of studies out showing us that people are healthier statistically compared to a control group when they eat more fish. Kids have higher IQs. Mothers who eat fish during pregnancy, their kids are more likely to have higher IQs and so forth. And so this has fueled a massive growth in fish consumption worldwide. I think that statistically and comparatively, fish is going to be healthier than beef, for example, or other animal products. And a lot of times people are replacing animal products with fish, and then other animal products with fish, and then they have certain health benefits. But fish comes at a great cost. Number one, it's contaminated with mercury and heavy metals because our oceans are increasingly polluted. It's increasingly contaminated with plastic as well. It's unsustainable. Maybe on a micro scale, it's sustainable. You know, Joe and Billy go out and go fishing for the weekend and catch a fish while they're in a creek. You know, that's one thing. But on a massive scale, when you have trawlers that are strip mining the oceans with mile-long piercing nets, when you have fish farms that are producing, you know, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of fish at any given moment, and they're feeding him massive amounts of other fish from the oceans, and then there's this huge amount of excrement, we're talking about a massive, colossal scale. And on that scale, fish production and fish consumption is devastating to our environment, and it's producing products that are high in contaminants, which in turn can get into our bodies and fuel disease not only now, but even for generations long term, fueling birth defects and other problems. So fish is a complicated matter. The fishing industry is fairly corrupt when it comes to its environmental impact. And at the same time, on a micro scale, probably it could be sustainable for some people. The question is how much and on what terms and where is it coming from? If you do choose to eat fish, then go with low mercury. Don't go with the tuna, the big fish, the shark. Go for the salmon and the sardines and so forth. But you also can choose to say no to that whole thing. A lot of people are saying they want the omega-3 fatty acids. Well, guess what? You can get them more cleanly and more safely fish-free. You can get ALA from flax seeds and chia seeds in particular. You can get DHA and EPA from an algae-sourced supplement. Because guess where the fish get it from? They get it from algae. So you can buy algae-sourced supplements and get DHA and EPA that way, and then you're completely free of all the PCBs and the various heavy metals and contaminants that are in the ocean, and you're not contributing to the devastating environmental impact of the fishing industry.